Throughout the centuries, art has played an important role in providing a visual representation for biblical scenes from Christianity. Artists throughout Western art history have turned to religious subjects and were frequently commissioned to paint or sculpt scenes from the New Testament and the life of Christ for churches and cathedrals throughout Europe. Up until the 19th century, it was common that much of a congregation were unable to read or write. Subsequently, works of art played a vital role in representing biblical scenes and enabling those who were illiterate an understanding of key teachings. Carl Bloch, born in 1871, was a 19th century Danish painter who frequently depicted the life and ministry of Jesus Christ throughout his body of work. He had an established reputation as a religious painter and undertook major commissions in chapels in Denmark and Sweden. Bloch studied paintings by the great Italian masters such as Leonardo da Vinci and Piero della Francesca, and we can see a clear influence of these artists in Bloch's naturalistic painterly technique, his dramatic chiaroscuro lighting, and his skilled compositions that portray a narrative scene. His painting, Jesus Healing the Blind, was originally part of a commission for a church in Denmark and depicts Luke chapter 18 verses 35 to 43, in which Jesus heals a blind man on the road to Jericho. In Jesus Healing the Blind, Bloch has depicted Jesus at the very centre of the painting. All of the orthogonal lines of perspective branch out from Christ's head, meaning that the focus is compositionally also on him. We know the figure is Jesus because a bright halo encircles his head. The passage reads that Jesus made his way to Jericho with a large crowd. A blind man sat by the roadside begging, and when he heard the crowd going by, he asked what was happening. When the crowd told him that Jesus of Nazareth was passing by, he called out, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." Despite others in the crowd dismissing him, Jesus stopped and asked the man to be brought to him. The blind man then said, "Lord, I want to see." Jesus said to him, "Receive your sight, your faith has healed you." And immediately he received his sight and praised God along with the crowd who bore witness. We can clearly see that alongside Jesus in the foreground is the blind beggar, signalled by his position on his knees, reaching towards Jesus. His closed eyes and frayed costuming further evoke this. In the background, Bloch has depicted several unidentifiable children and adults to represent the crowd. Their backs are to the viewer and their gazes are directed towards Jesus, again refocusing the viewer's gaze at the centre of the composition. The two men in the immediate foreground looking back at the central scene make it feel as though we as viewers are also part of the crowd in which the miracle is taking place. Bloch's deliberate choice to involve the viewer directly in the scene calls us to witness the miracle and praise God as part of the crowd in the passage.